Welcome, and thank you for joining me for a Hopefulist hot take. Today we're going to be talking about the hubbub over Taylor and Travis. I wanted to bring this up because, Taylor Swift was seen at the Kansas City Chiefs game about a week ago, and the fervor over it has been overwhelming, nonstop. I mean, every sports channel talked about it. They talked about it on the nightly news. It was just everywhere. And I don't know if you happened to catch this, but there was a bunch of TikTok videos going around of women going to their husbands, their sons, boyfriends, what have you, talking about how Taylor Swift has now put Travis Kelce on the map and how nobody knew who he was until Taylor showed up at the game. Because if you're not aware, there had been this flirting back and forth between Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce, and apparently he had said, I guess he got a message to her that said, I've seen you rock Arrowhead Stadium, which of course is where the Kansas City Chiefs play. I would like it if you could come see me rock Arrowhead Stadium. I don't know if they were seeing each other before this happened. I don't know what the deal was, but she showed up in the special box for, Travis Kelce. His parents were there. She was hanging out with his mom, and it just blew up like crazy. And these videos were so funny. Like the one I saw is a mom talking to her son, and she's like, I don't know, there's this like Travis Kelce, I don't know, he's like in the NIFL or NFL, and he's like, NIFL? Which is kind of funny. It reminds me of when somebody calls it the feet ball. Because they think that's the past tense of football. But no, that's not the past tense of football. But that is pretty funny. Let's go see the feet ball game. Anyway, I'm sorry. I just find it to be a little hilarious. These men and these boys are getting extremely angry when they are being told that Travis Kelce has been put on the map because of Taylor Swift. Now, it's a joke, okay? Travis Kelce is a two-time Super Bowl winning wide receiver. He is Patrick Mahomes' main guy to go to in most of the passes throughout the game. He is an incredible football player. I will not take any of that away from him. So when it comes to the football world, he's pretty high up on the top tiers. But here's the thing. Taylor Swift is way more successful than Travis Kelce. I mean, she has way more than 2 Super Bowl wins. I mean, how many Grammys and recording artist awards does she have? How many People's Choice Awards? How many of the millions of award shows that they have? The iHeartRadio Awards, the Billboard Awards. There's a ton of them. I can't even imagine. I can't even begin to think of how many awards that she must have. And when it comes to money, and of course we know that money equals power most of the time, Taylor is her own entity. Taylor writes her own albums. She records the albums. She has the albums. Somebody actually stole her albums from her, so she has still in the process of re-recording those albums so that they are owned by her. She goes out on tour. It is all Taylor Swift. Now, does she have expenses? Of course, yes. And she's also been very generous with her staff. After the last tour, she gave away millions of dollars as bonuses to people that worked with her. Just a couple that we knew of, by the way. She has a ton of money. A ton. So even though Travis Kelce may be in one of the top tiers when it comes to football playing, Taylor Swift is in the top tier of life, period, in general. She's got wealth, she's got power, she's got influence, she's got it all. And I have to just laugh at all of these guys getting so mad over it because, again, a joke, because you can tell by the way that these women are talking to their husbands, sons, boyfriends, or what have you, that they are joking, that they are doing it to get a rise out of them. And in fact, one of the husband's reaction was, why are you coming out here trying to get me all mad? Why are you doing that? It's not, it was a joke. Hello, funny. But I think it really runs much deeper than that. And I think it comes down to the fact that they don't like somebody that they look up to in a sport that they love being overshadowed by a girl, and especially one that people make fun of her followers. You know, you can say you're going to a Taylor Swift concert, and most of the time you're going to get a big old eye roll. I tried to get tickets for the concert. I couldn't get them. I tried for a half hour to get those bad boys, and I just was not quick enough. I also love football. But when it comes to the two, one has much more power and influence than the other. And I think that that just really gets to them. It really bothers them that something that they make fun of, going to a Taylor Swift concert, that Taylor can come into a football stadium and command all of the attention, all of the news reports, all of the sports reporting. It can become all about her that quickly. And they don't like that. I think it's a little bit of thinking that their sport, their hobby, is more important than all of the people that love to go see Taylor Swift in concert, buy her albums, follow her, what have you. Because it comes down again to women's hobbies versus men's hobbies. Football is cool. You're allowed to watch football every weekend. You're allowed to scream at the television and call that a fun day. But if you talk about women going to book club, again, you're going to get the eye roll. Because, you know, oh, you women just get together so you can drink. It's nothing to do with the books. Or you women are going to get together and do your clacking or whatever. But it's not looked at like that for any man's sports, any man's hobbies. Golf, oh, so important. But women that want to go get their nails done, that's frivolous. I've talked a little bit about this before. And it just goes to how it is perceived and reacted to in society. And as I mentioned, football is cool, but going to book club or going to a Taylor Swift concert is not considered cool. So let's talk about a little bit of what football entails. These guys get up on Sunday mornings and they start watching show after show after show of all football talk until kickoff. And then they watch football game number 1, football game number 2, and they're probably going back and forth between a couple of games. And then there's football game number 3 on Sunday night. And a lot of them have these made-up football teams that they manage, that they are the coach of. They put players in, they rest players, they take players out, all of these things. Of course, I'm talking about fantasy football. That is all cool. That's cool. But how different is that from running out and buying a new Taylor Swift album, listening to the whole thing, and going to see one of her shows? Because you could do all 3 of those things in the time that it takes to watch one day of football. But we're the crazy ones. We are the ones that are frivolous and that have these hobbies that are just silly, and you can't take them seriously because they're just not one of those things that should be considered as a real hobby. So if you have a guy in your life that can take a joke, go ahead. Just ask him. Ask him if he thinks that Taylor Swift put Travis Kelce on the map. See what happens. We will be back with a full episode soon. Thank you for tuning in.